Welcome, racing fans. It was a hot time in Atlanta on Sunday for the NASCAR Cup Series. Hang out because it's time for the Motorsports Radio Breakdown. It was the Folds of on a Quick Trip 500 Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kevin Harvick, the pole sitter that dominated on Sunday. However, the checkered would go to Bart Keselowski. We're going to break down yesterday's race. Ryan Newman started in second, and starting third was Kyle Busch for 31-18, top 30 starting position. Green flag flies, and another Sunday afternoon at the track underway as the field heads to the start-finish line to start the second Cup race of 2017. There's actually 39 cars. There wasn't a full field of 40 yesterday. 39 cars, 39 drivers, and no restrictor plates. Fast and furious on the old Atlanta pavement. A shuffle in the top three with Kyle Busch moving up to second, Newman down to third, and a close call for Joey Logano and Jay McMurray to start things off. Some contact with Jay McMurray, and Logano gets a little loose there. But a good save for the 22. Looks like a little damage, however. Lap 8, Ryan Newman back up to second, and then we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's running third. Kyle Busch would drop down to fourth. Kyle Busch had a crazy day too yesterday. Harvick, though, up front with a 1.5 second lead at lap 11. At lap 19, Stenhouse Jr. running second now, and Harvick's lead now at a 2.3. Kyle Busch having issues with that 18 car, the blue Snickers car, now running 8th at lap 22. I believe he finished in 16th. We'll have the full results in a little later on today. Keselowski breaks into the top 3 at lap 30, so now the top 3 now all Fords, and then we have a round of green flag pit stops. At around lap 30, lap 35, but Dale Jr., man, too fast on pit road. That means pass-through must be served, and a shuffling of lead changes typical of green flag pit cycles. Landon Cassill had the lead for a brief time. Harvick, however, would resume the lead after pitting. Keselowski now up in second, and now we got Chase Elliott running third. That would be at lap 42. Logano climbed up to fourth, started in seventh, and Kyle Busch, he's dropping down now. He's running down at 11th at the moment. So the top 5 after the first round of green flag pit stops: Kevin Harvick, Bart Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, and Kurt Busch sitting in 5th. Lap 65 will mark the last 20 of stage number 1. Harvick still in front, though, with a 2.5 second lead at lap 67. Some late pitters as stage 1 winds down. Harvick, man, now has a 4.5 second lead now at lap 74. Stage 1 would come to a close at lap 85, and the winner of stage number 1, Kevin Harvick. Top 5 stage 1 finishes: Kevin Harvick for the win. Keselowski would finish second. Chase Elliott third. Martin Truex Jr. comes in fourth, and in fifth it's Joey Logano, the 4, 2, 24, 78, and the 22. Matt Kenseth, man, too fast on pit road with the 20 car. Not only does this count as a caution, the first of the day, there's also a lucky dog here as well. It was Casey Kane, driver of the number 5. And then we get back to green to start stage number 2 at lap 94. Harvick in the lead into this restart. Coley LaJoie, the 83 car, brushes the wall. It would stay green after this incident. 4, 2, 24 in the top 3. Harvick, Keselowski, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Busch just having a rough one, now down in 20th at lap 101. Harvick's lead back up to about 2.8 seconds on Keselowski at lap 117, but some green flag pit stops cycling through at lap 117, lap 118, and then Keselowski a customer, and in turn Chase Elliott takes second. Logano also a customer, and a pit road penalty, man, too fast exiting pit road. Leader Kevin Harvick pits at lap 127. And of course, pit road penalty did Kevin Harvick in too on Sunday. We'll get to it. Jimmy Johnson now race leader for a little bit. And then we got Eric Jones up in second. But then Jimmy Johnson pits at lap 129. So he gives up the lead. But Keselowski becomes the new leader now. And a penalty for Jimmy Johnson. Too fast on pit road. Jimmy Johnson got popped twice. A bunch of drivers got popped twice yesterday. So a 2-second lead, though, Keselowski now in front, and now Keselowski with a 2-second lead on Kevin Harvick, but Harvick chasing him down. Chase Elliott back into third, so now we got the 2-4-24 top three. And now something going on with that number 2 at lap 143. Keselowski giving up the lead to Pitt, and that, of course, opens a spot for Kevin Harvick to retake the front position. Keselowski having tire issues. So we got a top three now at lap 152. Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Newman. Harvick's lead now at lap 154, a 3.95 on second place Chase Elliott, and a full 4 seconds at lap 155. Freaky fast for sure. Keselowski would drop down to 8th for a little bit, and then Denny Hamlin having some issues with that 11 car, lap 165, possible broken track bar. He would head to the garage. Now, as we mentioned, if the car goes to the garage, it cannot come back out. But that actually, which I just learned yesterday, most of us probably learned yesterday, that if the car is going in for mechanical issues, then it can come back out. Unfortunately, Denny Hamlin was done for the day. The thing is with the mechanical issues that the car has to be able to maintain the set minimum speed. But if the car is sent to the garage from a wreck, then the car is done for the day. Harvick now putting 6 seconds on Chase Elliott, lap 166, a full 6 seconds. Then we get to the final 4 laps of stage number 2, and the winner of stage 2 again would be Kevin Harvick. Stage 1 and 2 winners. Here, lap 170 would be the final lap of stage 2. Top 5 stage 2 finishes would be Kevin Harvick for the win. Chase Elliott climbs up, finishes second. Ryan Newman third. Truex Jr. comes in fourth, and then coming in fifth would be Kyle Larson. So that would be the 4, 24, 31, 78, and the 42. Truex Jr. with a botched pit stop would drop down to 10th. Then we have Harvick, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Newman. Kyle Larson and Austin Dillon. That would make up the top 5 going into the restart to start stage 3, which would be at lap 178. With the field spreading out, these cars are flying now as that racing service starts to cool down, as the daytime starts slowly turning into the nighttime at ATL. Harvick in front with just a 0.86 second lead now at lap 186, but Keselowski now, he would climb back up to the top 3, running third at lap 195. So now we've got the 4, 24, and the 2 up there. Also, lap 195, a third round of green flag pit stops. Dale Jr., first taker, 4 laps down. He had a little issue with his tires coming in there. And then a second penalty here for Jimmy Johnson, again too fast on pit road. Now we got Kyle Larson, who was running third for a little while until he comes into pit. However, after pitting, goes back out and also moves up to second for briefly. Larson would then eventually drop down to 6th, but then we got Chase Elliott back in second, Keselowski back up in third, Harvick, the Kevin Harvick show continuing now with a freaky domination in Hotlanta. Lap 225, this would start the last 100 laps of the race. Kyle Larson back up to second, Chase Elliott drops down to 12th, and a little freight train action here, but top 3, lap 230, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, and Clint Boyer, of course, driver of the 14. Kevin Harvick all day, just about. Then we get caution number 3. This one's for debris. Now, note the first 2 cautions were actually just for the stage segments, and the stage breaks, if you will. Those counted as the first 2 cautions. Caution number 3, though, would be for debris, and then back to green at lap 245. No lead changes here, however, but then we got a top 3 at lap 253, Harvick, Keselowski, Austin Dillon, and then we get caution number 4 at lap 262. This would be for the 23 car. Engine expired here, 23 driver Gray Golding. David Reagan, of course, drove the 23 last year. Restart with Keselowski now. Well, okay. This is where things got a little crazy for Keselowski. Originally, he was supposed to restart in the lead, beaten I believe he beat Kevin Harvick. Yes, he did. He beat Kevin Harvick with a race off pit road. But now what happened was that he was supposed to be up front, but then he discovered a lug nut violation. That was the buzz, and then he had to come back in to fix this issue, and instead of restarting in the lead, he would wind up restarting in 14th. So once again, Kevin Harvick in front, still yellow. Austin Dillon now restarts second, and then we finally get back to green at lap 269. And man, that number 4 car just going and going. But Kyle Larson up to second now. Chase Elliott back up to third. Lap 274, 42-24 at the start of the final 50, which would be at lap 275. But then we get to lap 278, and Clint Boyer's 14 car into the wall between turns 1 and 2. And then we get caution number 5. Now, the 31 team gets popped for too many crew member over the wall too soon. And if you saw this, the rule is that the crew cannot come over the wall until the car is at least one pit box length away from its designated pit box. However, the 42 car was in there for some reason, cutting through to get to his pit box, and I think that confused them out there in the for the 31 crew. But now you got Chase Elliott chasing down Kevin Harvick. We get back to green with 42 to go, and it would be, I was thinking here, it would be crazy if Chase Elliott would win this race. Still 42 to go, so anything can happen. Just 0.3 of a second separating these top two drivers at the moment, which was lap 286. But then the lead would grow to 1.5 seconds at lap 298. But then we get to lap 305, and this would start the last 20. Austin Dillon having troubles with his car. No power with that number 3. He drops down to the apron at turn 1. This would bring out caution number 6, and this is what led to Kevin Harvick's, which would actually end the day for Kevin Harvick. He would still race, but unfortunately he would not go for the checkered flag, and here's what happened. Kevin Harvick, with caution number 6, Kevin Harvick, who led 292 laps, the most laps led, 292 laps led up to this point, gets popped for going too fast on pit road. And I even wrote down here, what the H? And that was it. I believe Kevin Harvick would finish 9th. So we get back to green, and that's what happened. And a shake-up in the top 3 now, because now we have Kyle Larson now, the race leader. And then all of a sudden, we got Matt Kenseth coming up to the second. And then we have Keselowski, who would restart in third. And man, Chase Elliott getting freight trained again. Keselowski takes second, Kenseth down in third. And a no blink zone, now we got the Kyle Larson, Keselowski, and Matt Kenseth making up the top 3. Now getting into the final 10, and a nitty-gritty fight, man, for the lead between Kyle Larson and Keselowski. And I think this is why a lot of folks like racing without the restrictor plates, because you get these crazy passes, and we get the one car on the outside, one car on the inside, and one's trying to pass the other one, and you really don't get that when you get restrictor plate racing, because the restrictor plates, you just got those 2 lines all day. This time, without restrictor plates, we get to see these cars really start to fly. And then we get to lap 319, and Brad Keselowski would pass the 42 car to become the new race leader, getting into now lap 320, which would be the final 5. Top 5, Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Kenseth, Kurt Busch, and Casey Kane. Intensity, white flag in the air at lap 324, and lap 325 would seal the deal, and the winner of the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500, Brad Keselowski. I was thinking to myself that Keselowski was going to win on Sunday, man. I'm setting up my DraftKings account, but I really don't know how to work it, but it's like one of my missions this year to get into DraftKings. Top 5 finishes here would be Keselowski for the win, with the cross and the victory lap with the American flag. Kyle Larson would finish second. Kenseth finishes third. Casey Kane would wind up climbing up a spot and finishing in 4th. And Chase Elliott would come and finish in 5th. That's the 2:42, 25, and the 24. Kevin Harvick finished in 9th, the pole setter. Harvick leading 292 laps. And Kyle Busch winds up finishing in 16th. Motorsportsradio.net race info. I think it was 7 lead changes yesterday. The computer went a little glitchy right before I got that down, but I believe it was 7. We had 6 cautions. The fastest lap was 184.278 miles per hour, and then the best lap was 33.316 seconds. Advertised laps 325, actual 325, no OT here. Stages 1 and 2, 85 laps each, and stage 3, 155. Up next on the Cup schedule, Las Vegas this Sunday at 3:30 as NASCAR starts its West Coast swing. Hey, thank you for tuning in, everybody. From the Skybox Podcast Center, this is Manny Allegretti. This is the home of Motorsports Talk, motorsportsradio.net.